So let's work on handlebars now, for now without the layout. So let's go to the add product HTML page and copy that over into an add product.hbs file like this. Now this is now our add product page. This is all looking good. Now let's output the page title dynamically. And we're not using a layout for now. I will show you how this would work in a second too. So let's add the page title. Active class should here be on add product. No need to assign this conditionally because we're in the add product HBS file anyways here. This is not in a layout. And now let's also go down there. This should all, of course, still work. So this was pretty straightforward, I guess. So if we now save this and click on add product, this should work. And this is now rendered by Handlebars because that is our view engine. Now let's go to the shop HTML file and let's copy all that code here and add a shop.hbs file here. Add that code here. The title becomes shop, or better, dynamically output page title. And now the interesting part, of course, is here in the main section. There we can comment in this code. So let's remove the comment tags here. And now I want to loop through all the articles and then, of course, also change the image here. This is still the old not working image. Let's take that new image link I added in the puck template. So let's move that into here too. Like that. And with it added, let's now repeat this article for all the products we have and show no products found text if we got no products. And for this, we need to use a new handlebars index, which you obviously don't know yet. Maybe you explored it in the official docs. Otherwise, let's add it together here. First of all, there is an if helper. You still add your double curly braces here, but then you add a hashtag for special block statements. Block statements simply are statements which are not just outputting some text, but which actually wrap some content that should be output conditionally or in a loop. Here we can then add the if keyword and check if prods length is greater than 0. So it's the same condition as in the puck template, just the syntax is a bit different. Now we want to output this article, or actually not the article, the entire grid. So let's actually switch that. The entire grid here. Let's indent this. Indentation here doesn't matter, but makes it easier to read. Here we want to wrap this, and now we want to close that block at the end, and we do that with a closing statement, where we also have if here. By the way, if here also has to sit next to the hashtag. So this opens a if block with the condition, then this content is only rendered if that condition is met, and then we close it. Now, of course, we also want to have an else block, so let's add this here too. Hashtag else is then the key, and there we simply put the content we want to output if the condition is not met. No products found. With that, let's save that and let's go back to the shop, and we get an error. The problem we have here is that Handlebars doesn't actually support statements like this. It just supports the output of keys that yield true or false. Now this means that we have to move that logic from the template into our NodeExpress code and pass the result of this check into the template. So we would go to shop.js, and there we actually add a new key value pair we pass into the template, has products maybe, and this simply holds a value which is the result of our check here. Products, so this products array here, length greater 0. So now we just pass this key in there which is true or false, the result of this check. And this is a core difference to Puck already, besides that HTML thing. Here in Handlebars, we can't run any logic in our Handlebars template. We just can output single properties, single variables and their value, and we can only use these in if blocks too. So here I can now check if has products is true, because this is now the data I pass into this template. And this actually also has a positive side. It might sound very complex, but it forces us to put all our logic into the NodeExpress code, where our logic typically should live, and keep our templates lean. Because if you put too much logic in your templates, it can be hard to understand your code, because you always have to check both your Express code and your templates. Otherwise, the template is really just about displaying stuff. The logic always happens in Node Express. So these are two kinds of philosophies. It's up to you to choose your favorite, but this is how Express Handlebars, or how Handlebars in general, handles this. So now with this change, we can reload this page. And now we just have a problem with else here. But that is just that it's not hashtag else, just the else keyword. My mistake. So now if I reload, we have no products found. And if I do add my first book here, we do actually see that. However, this is, of course, is not the values we have in our products array. We have some hard-coded data here, because I still have to add a block where we loop through all products. And this is done with a each block statement with hashtag each. And then you pass in an array, prods in our case. So now prods is passed into this loop. And now in there, this element is repeated for each element. And we also have to close this with /each after we're done repeating our code. So now this block of HTML code is repeated for every product. The question now just is, how can we access this product? And here, Handlebars also gives us only one way. It gives us the this keyword, which refers to the element in the array for the current iteration, so to each product. So therefore, we can output this title here, for example, because this will always refer to one product, and one product still is a JavaScript object as stored in the array here in the admin.js file, an object with a title key. So now if we save this and we reload this page, now we see first book here because this is the title we assigned. So this is now how Handlebars works, and it's really important that you understand this different philosophy of having less logic in the template, more logic in the Node Express code. So you have to prepare everything there so that in the template you don't have to write any JavaScript expressions. Therefore, this is now the project converted to Handlebars, except for one thing, and that is, of course, the layout.